Hello everyone and welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. My name is Sammy and today we are finally getting our hands on the IOD Summer Release. Y'all, I finally made it down to my craft space and got to craft for you guys, got to craft for myself, and I can say I was not disappointed by anything that I used today. It is all so beautiful, easy to use, and there were so many different ways to use them as well. So I cannot wait to show you. I hope you are inspired. I hope it motivates you to get those crafting supplies out. And let's get started with our first project. I picked up this duck decoy for I think $5.99 at Savers. It wasn't worth any money, so we're gonna go ahead and paint it. And I'm gonna use Apothecary. I tell you what, Apothecary is like the best color to use with florals because it goes with like everything. So I'm going to do a messy coat on this. I want the white to come through. I don't want this to be a solid coat. So you'll see I'm just kind of brushing this on, not being too careful with it whatsoever. And then we're going to let this completely dry. I just do one coat. And sorry, you guys, I guess I wanted you to watch me paint just a little longer. Just marvel at that beautiful duck. Okay, next step. We're going to use the new Ditzy Bloom paint inlay. When IOD comes out with floral paint inlays, I am all over it. They are one of my favorites, especially because they come in these full sheets. And that, in my opinion, is so much easier to use. So we're going to use this one right here. And I am going to first cut out a bunch of different sections of the paint inlay. So I like to kind of map it out, I guess you would say. I like to get a couple different sizes, kind of play around with placement, see where I'm going to kind of put stuff. I definitely like to pre-plan versus like going for it and just sticking things places, because you could see like that one right there. How perfect was that right there in that V of the tail feathers? So after I'm done cutting those out, what we're going to do, we are going to take our liquid patina. And the reason we're doing liquid patina with this paint inlay is because if I were to have used paint, then the spots that I would have put the paint inlays would be double coated with paint and the rest of the duck wouldn't be. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? So it would look splotchy and it would look lighter in some spots, darker in some spots. So what we're going to do is we are going to take our liquid patina. I love using liquid patina for paint inlays. And what we are going to do is we are going to coat with a paintbrush the section that we are applying it to. Hold on, don't worry. I'm going to show this again, okay? So here we go. We're going to get our liquid patina. We're going to put that down where we want our paint inlay. Then we're going to take our mister bottle. We're going to spritz that paint inlay to start activating the paint on there. We're going to lay that down. We're going to spritz it again. And then we're going to get a paper towel and push that down. This also allows us to wipe off like that little excess of liquid patina that's around the paint inlay. We're going to do this again for the beginners here on Unicorn Dust Designs. Again, we are going to take our liquid patina. I'm going to place that right on our duck. And then I'm going to spritz that paint inlay again. And then I'm going to put that on the duck, pushing it down. And then I'm going to spritz that once again. And I'm going to push with my paper towel the paint inlay into that liquid patina. It's very easy. It does take a little bit to get, you guys. I'm not going to lie. It took me a couple tries before I got the paint inlays. But then we are going to dry it. I dry paint inlays with my heat gun and I never have any issues whatsoever. And you'll know when that paint inlay is dry because as you can see, the part of the duck that's kind of like facing the bottom of the screen, see how the paint inlay is turning white almost, and then the ones on the other side, the florals look a little bit brighter. That's how you know that it's dry versus still wet. So once that's completely dry, I'm going to grab my mister bottle once again. I'm going to spray those paint inlays. This is going to reactivate that paint and the paper. If you were to just go ham and like just rip that paper off, oh, that would be a mess. Don't do it. I don't want to see what happens. So just wet it, dab it, leave it for like a few seconds. And then we are going to start peeling our paint inlays up. Now, don't expect perfection, you guys, especially when you're working with a textured surface, curved surface. But I was not disappointed, you guys, at all. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Okay, just silence. Look at that. These came out so good. Sorry, I couldn't be silent. I was so excited. Sorry about that. But these came out so good for the texture that was on the duck and all of like the little curves and stuff. I could not have asked for a more perfect turnout of, look at this one, you guys. Look at pulling that up and look at how crisp those florals are. Oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful, you guys. Yes. Okay. So we are going to do this to the rest of the duck. Now, I did not clear the duck, you guys. I did not seal it because I couldn't decide for whatever reason. I don't know why it's on my mind. But if I wanted the duck to be matte or glossy. And I don't even do glossy. I don't know why that's in my mind that this duck should be glossy, but I want you guys to let me know. Here is how she looks. She is beautiful. You guys, she is gorga. And I'm feeling her. She is all sorts of beautiful. Those flowers just pop on that apothecary. And like I said, you guys, the apothecary goes with every color. You got red, you got pink, you got purple, you got yellow and green, and it goes perfectly. So tell me, you guys, matte or gloss for the finishing touch on this duck? Let me know in the comments.
We have a guess. Don't mind his ear, you guys. The vet said that these growths are normal on bloodhounds. What do you want? The kids are upstairs. Go bother them. Acts like I'm the only one in this dang house that knows how to open the back door. The kids are upstairs, Hanky. He's like, but no, you're right here. I want you to walk all the way upstairs and open the door. It's like the kids, you know, like Montgomery. John will be right there and no, I want Mom to do it. I'm like, why?
Okay, my weirdness is over, you guys. We're back. Okay, I got this salvaged wood on Whatnot. You guys, you can find everything on Whatnot, okay? And there's a lot of people that sell salvaged items on there. I got these 3 pieces of wood. I am just going to lightly clean these up. I want them to be dirty. I want them to be rustic. I love that vibe so much. Now, the teal piece of wood, which is gorgeous. I did seal this because it felt gritty to me, and I knew that my transfer was not going to stick to that texture. So I just sealed it up with some liquid patina, which is matte. And then I'm going to go in to my Saint Germain, you guys. I'll be the first to admit, IOD comes out with flowers after flowers after flowers. But this book is probably by far one of my favorite florals they've done. The pops of color that they used in this booklet are gorgeous. Like, it has these like subtle pops of blue in it, orange in it, purple in it. I mean, you can see like they just stand out, and I am all about the vibrant, bold colors. So I'm going to cut out the pieces that I think are going to work for these signs, and then we are going to play around with their placement. Like I said, like with the duck, I like to play around before I commit and just start sticking stuff on things. I have to look at like the whole flow of it, if it's going to fit with the color. And once I figure that out, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to apply them. So what I do is I put them down and I start with that little bump that's in the middle, the divot. I don't know what it's called. And then I work my way up and then back down. And you'll see my thumb is usually like holding the bottom of that transfer down so that I don't risk it popping up when I go over the little ridge right there. It's kind of more a divot. You guys, I can't. I'm like having a fight with myself in my mind. You guys are like, this lady's crazy. Yep, just a little bit. Okay, so then I'm going to put one on the other side. Look at how whimsical this looks, you guys. And I did not paint these. These pieces of wood salvage came exactly like this. Now, for the dark blue one, I got this pretty, look at this. Look at these colors, you guys. See the blue and the red there? And again, I am pushing in to that divot right there first. Then I am working my way up and then back down. And the reason I like to go in the little ridge or the divot, I can't with myself, first is because your transfer sheet is going to want to pop up on you. So I always make sure to get that first. It would be a crease. There we go, you guys, the crease. All right. And then we follow it down. We're going to burnish it, which means we are just rubbing that in to make sure that it is adhered to that surface. Then we're going to do the same thing for this beautiful piece of wood right here. We're pushing down as we are pulling up on our carrier sheet. And then look at that, you guys. Look at the colors against that beautiful like teal. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, so vibrant. All right, and then I have to admit, initially I was thinking that these were going to turn out one way. But when I got the Home Sweet Home transfer out, I realized that the words were a lot smaller. Like I thought one word was going to basically cover the entire piece of wood, and that was not the case at all. So I was like, I'm not letting go of this idea. I think it's going to be cute. What else can I do? So then I was like, why don't I put in two different words that go together? So like the flour and the biscuits, I think I did coffee and sugar, and then tea and herbs. And I was like, this is going to work. So I cut those out, and then I played around with the placement because I already had those flowers down. So I needed to, figure out how they would look best. And then we are going to start applying like we did last time. So again, pushing down as we're pulling up on that transfer. And there are some spots where there's a lot of texture that the transfer didn't want to adhere to, but that's okay because it's a salvage piece of wood. It did not need to be perfect by any means. And after I go through that entire piece, we're going to do what we are doing with all the transfers, and we are going to burnish that in, make sure it's in all of those grooves and it's adhered to our piece of wood. We are going to do this with all of our pieces, and then taking liquid patina, which is our matte finish. Big Top is going to give you kind of like a little sheen. We are going to go ahead and seal all of those transfers into that wood. It's going to seal the dirt. It's going to make it beautiful. And then these are something that I would use in vignettes. You could make them into signs, you could hang them up, but like my vision for these was seeing them at a coffee bar, or like the flour and biscuits in a basket with a flour sack towel, a white pitcher, a rolling pin. Like that is how I envision using these in home decor. And they all look so stunning together, you guys. This ended up being, I thought it was going to be the duck, but these three ended up being my absolute favorite out of all of the upcycles in today's video. Just the colors and how they vibe together, and then like how we put the wording together. I thought that they turned out so fabulous. Let me know which one of the colors was your favorite out of these three. Now I'm going to move on to these Crocs, and I left this in here because I wanted to show you that even the most experienced crafters will still have some hiccups, okay? So I was so inspired by the Crocs that were on, the Crock jugs that were on the IOD paint inlay, that I wanted to try it myself. I had these cracked Crocs that I wasn't going to sell. So I applied my liquid patina to both of them, and then I put my paint inlay on, just like I did with like the duck, right? And I've done this before, not on a Crock, but on different like surfaces that were not painted, and they came out fine. Well, this did not. And I wanted to show you guys real quick. Remember how I was talking about when they dry, they turn white? The one on the left, that's completely dry. The one on the right, you could see how vibrant the black is. That one is still wet. Okay, so I spritz them like I usually do. And then when I go to pill it, nothing. Look at this. It didn't transfer at all. I was like, what's missing here? So then I tried the big Crock, and again, nothing. And I cleaned them up. I don't know. And the thing with these two is you're able to use them multiple times. They get lighter and lighter as you use them. So then I was like, you know what? Let me paint one of the Crocs in crockery. And let me tell you, JRV, Cottage Colors, they hit the nail on the head when they got this color, because it does look so close to Crocs. Anyways, I did the first layer. Then I came in, I did the second layer, and then I applied the paint inlay to it, just like I would. And I thought for sure this is going to transfer on to the paint, right? Because I thought maybe it was the surface. But again, did the same steps, dried it, reactivated it. And again, look, it did not transfer. I need to try my other ones because I'm like, was it this like one paint inlay and they don't like, they're not sticking? Was it the Crock? But then I painted the Crock. So it didn't even go on the Crock surface this next time. And still the paint would not transfer. Luckily, JRV Cottage Colors are self-leveling and I just painted that one once again. And then I was like, okay, we got to think of something else. So, I grabbed the, what's this one called again, you guys? Menage? Menage. No, not Menage a Trois. What is this one called? Menagerie. Menagerie. Goodness, I'm a hot mess, you guys. Welcome to Unicorn Dust Designs. So, I wanted to use one of the bird cages so bad, but I couldn't find one that fit. So, I grabbed this one. And the best part about these transfers, you guys, is that you can make them your own. Just because they look a certain way in the book or you see somebody use it a certain way, it might not fit in with what you're doing, just like this one didn't. So I cut the little chain on the top off. I cut the bottom of like that little point of the bird cage off as well. And then I was like, great, this finally fits. So then I took one of the flowers out of this book and I'm going to go ahead and apply it. Now, the transfers do have a little bit of tack to them, you guys, so don't be scared to use them on curved surfaces. When you put them down, they will kind of like stick and grasp onto the surface. But if you're weary, just get some painter's tape and go ahead and put that painter's tape on the opposite side of where you're starting from just to keep it in place. So you're going to work from one side to the next. Go very slow when you're working with curved surfaces. Sometimes you're going to have some cracking. That's okay. It does not need to be perfect. And we're just going to keep on working until we get to the other side. Then as we do with all the transfers, we're going to burnish that. And the reason we're burnishing it, you guys, is because we want to make sure that transfer is adhered to the surface, that it is pushed down, that there's nothing lifted up. It is all on there the way it should be. Next, I'm going to take the bird cage. And you guys, you know that like cloudy film that's like around the transfers? I was so scared because this transfer, obviously it had the clouds in between like the lines of the cage. And I was scared that when I put this on top of the flowers, it was going to make the flowers look cloudy or not as visible, but it didn't. The only place that it actually looked a little cloudy was where the flowers weren't. But this, it actually looked really, really good. And I was super happy with it. So we are going to go ahead and do this all the way to the opposite side. And then I was in love with this bird image. And you could see I'm trying. I'm like, man, how can I make this fit? I love the way the bird's positioned. Then I was like, you know what? I told myself, you're going to have to do it. Just cut it. Just cut it. So I cut all of the greenery off of it. And then I'm going to stick it on to, there's like a branch sticking out of the bird cage. I'm going to put it where it makes sense for the bird to be. And then I'm going to apply it on there. Now to seal both of the Crocs, I did the other one off camera. I am just taking DIY's clear wax and I am buffing that in to seal it. You can most definitely use liquid patina, big top, a spray sealer, whatever you would like, but sealing it with the DIY clear wax does work. And I do it with both of them, and then I'll get a clean paper towel at the end and kind of like wipe off the excess to make sure that it's not like kind of like an oily mess, you know. Here I am. I'm like, oh, is this crack go all the way through? And this is a great way, you guys. If you have cracked Crocs, you know, or like you're a reseller and you're like, dang, I can't sell that now, like redo them for yourself. Both of these have cracks in them. The little one had like some pretty gnarly cracks. So I'll probably keep these and put them in my kitchen exactly how I put them together for the reveal, which is right here. Look at how cute these girls turned out. And look at you guys, the little one. That is what I painted in the color crockery. That looks pretty dang close to the Crock color, if I do say so myself. And here is the beautiful transfers that we layered on top of each other. You can see perfectly through that bird cage. We got it to fit perfectly on here. I love how it turned out. And I think this will look so good in the kitchen, just as is. I hope you guys liked it too and that it inspired you. Sometimes you just got to pivot and shift gears, right? All right. Now I'm going to take this cutting board. Now this cutting board was used. I'm pretty sure it had some oils on it. So I'm going to use Salvation Solution in Clear. This is a stain blocker. This is going to help keep all of those oils in there and not come through with the paint. Now, I don't like to waste paint. So I am using my Apothecary color once again. I'm going to do a messy coat on the front, the sides, and the back of this. And then I did, which I don't think I got in camera, you guys, but once it dried, I did rough up the edges and the front with a sanding block. Once that was all dried and cleaned up, I grabbed this transfer from Home Sweet Home and I went ahead and applied that. Now, you guys, I do want to say I am out of basically all of the summer release right now. I am waiting for IOD to restock some of the other things I've been waiting on, and then I will reorder this. So please be patient. I just cannot afford to pay for shipping twice, which I explain in the end of the video if you guys want to hang out and see a life update. So after I'm done putting that on, we're going to burnish it as usual. And then I'm going to take this textured stamp and I use stone gray. This gave it that more authentic, like it gave you the marks, like, you know, the cut marks on a cutting board. And I loved it. I was not digging it at first because I was like, this looks too plain, too simple. And then I added this stamp and it was fabulous. The texture stamp is something you need to have in your stash. Now I'm going to take DIY's clear wax and seal it. And you guys, make sure you are taking your wax out of the container and applying it. Do not put it back after using either. Remember, DIY's waxes are all natural. So if you contaminate it, you could potentially ruin your wax. So that is why you'll always see me scooping it out and putting it on top of my lid. And then whatever is left, I wipe away. So I try to be cautious with how much I put on top of there. After that, I'm going to take this little bundle of lavender and this cute little like crocheted doily piece, and I'm going to tie all of those together. And this lavender smells so good. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So, and then I'm not going to glue this onto my cutting board. I am just going to tie that up, complete a knot on the back, and check out how cute this turned out, you guys. I hope you're also getting inspired by the way I'm setting these up, hopefully giving you a vision of how you can decorate these DIYs and integrate them into your space with other vintage decor items. I love this setup. I love the colors. That transfer is absolutely beautiful and so detailed. Perfection. Okay, last one, you guys. We're going into Saint Germain once again. And this is a modern enamel picture, so I did not mind sticking a transfer on it. And I am going to pick out the cutest whimsical transfer. It just curved so perfectly with this. And like I said, you guys, if you are new to IOD, transfers are going to be your go-to. This is going to be like your fail-proof piece from IOD. They're so easy to work with. They stick to essentially any surface, and they truly do upgrade any upcycled piece. You don't have to put a lot of work into them, and they're beautiful, and there are so many to choose from. So definitely check that out. Everything is available on my website. Well, not the summer release again yet. I need to reorder that for you guys. But I hope you guys got inspired by this video. I was so beyond excited to finally be able to come and play with all of these items. And there's still so much. I only did one video for the spring release too. Like, you guys, we got some crafting to do, okay? I got to show you what we can do with all of these. So I hope you guys look at this one. Hold on the rebuild. Look at this. Look at this setup. Oh my gosh. See the colors on these flowers? See like the blue with the orange and then like that yellow with the pink. And then I had to take the flowers out because it was creating a shadow, and you guys needed to see how perfect this was. Oh, I absolutely love this. You guys, thanks for spending time with me. Do me a favor, please comment, like, and subscribe. Commenting is the way of letting YouTube know, like, hey, I'm enjoying this video. And then YouTube thinks, oh, maybe other people will too. And then they're more likely to share it out. So thank you guys so very much. I appreciate ya. Hey, everybody. I thought we should do a like real life check-in today because I haven't been around. That's why. I told you guys, I think like 3 months ago that like I was ready to come back and, you know, I was going to be consistent and I was going to do Tuesdays was recycled content, Thursdays unboxing, Saturdays new content. And I've been really struggling to do that because, you know, life. And for those of you that have been here for a long time and those that are new, like my family is and will always be the number one important thing in my life, and they will come before any of my businesses, any YouTube, any whatnot, anything. They come first. And I have a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 3-year-old now, and about to be a 1-year-old at the end of the month. And the two youngest girls, they go to daycare. So they're always catching something, and, you know, and right when I think that like I got everything planned out, my schedule, you know, where it needs to be, then life happens. One of them needs to stay home, and, you know, I'm not able to work when they're home. So it's been very up and down for me because, you know, I've thought quite a few times, like, you know, do I need to quit YouTube? Like, do I need to quit the business, you know, like selling IOD and DIY paints? Like, cause am I on here enough to sell this stuff? And, you know, like, is that just one more thing on my plate that doesn't like need to be there? But at the end of the day, I love creating. There's no way there would be a me without being able to create, you know? And, I think I've had it in my head. Ow, I should let my dog. I've had it in my head, you know, from when I first started YouTube that like, you have to post on this day, you have to be consistent and you have to do this. And, you know, that's what I've been trying to like hold up to. That's what I've been trying to reach. And that's just not my life right now. And I think once I've accepted that like that's just not going to happen, then I've came to the conclusion that like, I'm just going to post when I post. And, you know, hopefully you guys see it. Hopefully you guys are checking Unicorn Dust Designs. Hopefully notifications are getting sent to you, because we know that doesn't happen all the time. But I just have to post at this point when I can post, you know, and if that means I'm posting on like a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Friday, and that's because I happen to have all content like ready and available, that's what I'm going to do. And if there's one week where I could only post one thing and maybe it's the recycled content, then that's what I'm going to do. I just need to stop stressing myself out about like trying to reach the, you know, where I was here in YouTube, because I don't know if that'll ever happen again. I don't know if, you know, I'll ever pop off like I did before. And, it would be nice. It would be really nice. But right now I'm just in a different place in my life. And, you know, I have 4 children. I have a husband, and I'm trying to make a living. And that also means that, you know, unfortunately whatnot is the consistent right now. YouTube isn't. And it used to be enough to pay my bills, and now it's not. And so I have to go where the money is, unfortunately, to pay and take care of my family. So that ends up taking priority over whatnot and crafting. So I just wanted to fill you guys in and let you know, like, I don't plan on going anywhere. And I appreciate all of you so much that like, because I see my OGs always commenting on my recycled content. And even though I know you've seen it, you guys still watch it and you guys still comment. And I'm still getting so many website orders as well when I do put content out. So I appreciate that. And going forward, you guys, with the purchasing of supplies, because I am not on here as often, I don't necessarily have the money to invest in like bulk like I was, right? So I think what I'm going to do is basically every 3 months, I will put in an order for like restock items. So if I happen to be, let's say, out of crinoline, and that happens in like next month, or I'm just saying, I won't restock that until I make the full order in another 2 months. I think that's just attainable for me because shipping on IOD and DIY paints is a lot of money. And I'm talking like $300 to ship it because of the weight of the product. And I will be ordering today. Today's actually when I'm filming this, Tuesday. Debbie's Design DIY paints, they finally, you guys, got in waxes. Finally got in waxes. And I was like, I am not ordering any paint until that dang wax comes in because I'm not paying shipping twice. And that's the same thing, you guys, for the IOD restock. Everything you saw in here, I am waiting because IOD was restocking some things that I was out of there. It was supposed to be on the 30th, but that didn't happen. So I'm waiting because, again, I cannot afford to pay shipping twice to order the restock and then go back and order the stuff I've been waiting on, so I'm waiting until that comes in, and then I will restock all of the summer release. There are things that I do have, like the paint inlays in stock. Unfortunately, all the transfers and stuff like that sold, but and thank you guys for supporting me on that as well. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you sticking with me like through everything, supporting me, commenting. Some of you have followed me over to Whatnot, so I appreciate that as well. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little life update. I feel like I've been so like disconnected from YouTube, and that's not what I want to do. So if I can, I will try. If you guys want, let me know down in comments. I can, we could have like real life updates at the end of the Saturday videos when I put a video up, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it inspired you, and I'm going to try and work on some more content because tomorrow's Wednesday, and as long as we don't have a storm and kids aren't home and all that stuff, then hopefully I could create more stuff to put in the next video. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and I will see you hopefully next week. Bye.